Determining the sex of your gecko can sometimes be more difficult than you would think. This is mostly because geckos are a little bit different than some other animals. In this diagram here that you guys can see courtesy of the spruce, males tend to have pores. I'll show you in this clip here of Bloop, who is a male gecko, what these pores look like. They also seem to have bulges right before their tail. You can also see on Bloop in this clip here. Now, females will not have either the bulges or the pores. When these geckos are babies, juveniles, hatchlings, so on and so forth, it's hard to see the pores, and that can sometimes make it hard to determine sex. Now, there are some ways to determine if your baby gecko is a male or female. I will start this off by saying that usually it's not recommended that you try to sex a baby unless you are a breeder or you need a specific gender. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't really care if it's male or female, you really shouldn't be trying to sex it, because when you first bring a gecko home, or even when it's just a baby gecko in general, this is a very stressful period. It's tiny, it's in a new spot, it's with a new person touching it, it's not used to the situation, and picking it up, holding it upside down to see it, that can lead to it thinking it might get eaten, or it might get killed, or something along those lines. So it's stressful and not really necessary. It's better just to wait. But there is a way to tell. When I went to the Phoenix Reptile Expo to get my gargoyle gecko, I really wanted a male. At the time, I was thinking about potentially doing a breeding project down the line with gargoyle geckos. I never ended up doing that, but I did ask the vendor, is it possible if you can attempt to sex this gecko for me? And what they use is what jurors use when they're looking at gems. They use a loop. So how they do that is they take the loop, and I don't have one on me, otherwise I would demonstrate, and they zoom in on the region to see if they can see pores. This is not always an 100% guarantee, because you may look at it and go, this is going to be a female. But as I mentioned before, when geckos are young, they don't really show pores that well. So you can look at it and go, I'm certain this is going to be a female, and then it starts to develop the pores as it gets older, and you're now stuck with a male gecko. This is what happened with my gecko Bloop, who you saw earlier in the video. I was told that Bloop was a female, but they sexed him a little bit early because as he got older, he developed the bulges and the pores, and he was a male gecko. Which is cool, because I actually kind of wanted a male gecko, so it works out for me. But that's the thing. It is hard to tell. With this, I would wait. Give it a little bit, give it some months, wait until your gecko gets a little bit bigger, and then once it's used to being held and handled on a daily basis, just pick it up, flip it over, look for the telltale signs mentioned earlier in the video, and you're good to go. Thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. What other topics are you guys curious about? I'm more than welcome to cover them. Please leave a comment below, and if you like this content, please give us subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm terrible at English, but I promise you guys I am semi-decent at reptile facts. So, have a good one. Funky geckos. Bye.